I think if you're not familiar with the phrase, it's been kind of widespread. Like a couple years ago, it kind of had a boom. I feel like it was turned almost into like a meme of a kind. But it's the phrase, it's like the phrase that kind of typifies the cycle of society, and it's hard times create strong men create good times create weak men create hard times, and it's that cycle, right? And I think that right now things are not the greatest in terms of economics. Like, just I feel like the world's in a kind of weird place right now, and in a lot of ways we are in one of those hard times create strong men kind of times. And this is just, take it or leave it. This is just the appraisal of a 21-year-old guy making a video on his phone sitting in his car while it rains. But we're just in a weird, I feel like we're in a weird time right now. And it's no secret. I mean, from the standpoint of people struggling, people are struggling right now throughout the world. Um, but I feel like in the US, because that's where I am, I'm in the United States, if you couldn't tell already, if you didn't know that. I think it's just not it, we're in a weird place right now. Like, a lot of people are, their jobs are coming under fire because of AI, inflation, the tariffs, and I'm not, this isn't a political video. I'm not trying to get political here. I'm just stating facts. The things that are happening right now are causing the average person to have a harder time economically than they had 7 to 10 years ago. So, thinking about that kind of just makes you realize, okay, so we're in a hard times right now. And the way I see it, we've got basically two options for how to respond to that, right? We can either just roll over, right? Because, I mean, hard times create strong men, but there are also weak men. The weak men are who created the hard times, right? So you can roll over and just kind of take it, hope for the best, hope that you don't get absolutely shafted, and just hope that things turn out okay, hope that somebody else comes along and fixes it. Or you can become one of the strong men. And this isn't necessarily a video specifically just for men. Like, if you're a woman watching this, this can still apply to you. It's just the phrase is hard times create strong men. But you can, I mean, it doesn't really matter, I guess. If you feel like this is something that you should do as well, then go for it 100%. But, and I'm not even talking necessarily about, like, oh, create societal change. Like, I'm not necessarily saying, like, oh, you should run for public office, get into politics, or you should, be super, and like I'm not advocating for any specific course of action. It could just be the type of strength that's like, okay, you go out of your way and you figure out a way to get some extra income so that your family is more protected, right? Whatever it is. You start hitting the gym more so that if society completely collapses, you're physically capable of handling yourself so you can fight off a bear or whatever. Like, you can fill in your own idea of what a strong man is and what a strong man looks like. But you know what? I think this is just a wake up call. I feel like we are in hard times, or we're coming into them. I honestly think that this is not like this isn't the worst of it, I don't think. And I mean, not trying to be doom and gloom. As a matter of fact, this video is kind of the opposite. It's kind of an optimistic take of no matter which, whether we get better, whether we're on an upswing or we're on a downturn, I think this should be a wake up call for us that it's time to get stronger. It's time to get stronger. At least that's what I'm using this for, because it's really easy. And I'll be totally honest, for the past couple of weeks, like I've been really, I feel like I've been pretty productive the last couple of weeks, but a couple of weeks before that, I was in like a major slump, honestly. Like, because partly because of the way that the world just is right now. Like, everything's just kind of looking weird. Like, just things are not, I'm just it's hard to be optimistic looking at the world right now for me. And this is me. I'm usually an extremely optimistic person. I always try to see like the opportunities in things. I always try to see the opportunity in the bad. So, and that's what I'm trying to do now. Like, I've come out of that slump significantly, but I was in like a major slump. Like, I was heavily just like honestly depressed for a couple weeks there. Like, I was just playing video games nonstop, not really doing anything, just kind of like, rotting for a couple weeks there, just because of just the way that the country is right now, the way that the world is right now, just not ideal. Not ideal. And I was honestly, I mean, I think partly it was just I was worried. I was nervous about like what the heck is going on. Um, but now that I've come out of that slump, and I'm like, okay, I can't just wait around for things to change, right? I can't wait around for things to get better, because they might not. I certainly shouldn't sit around and let things get worse without me doing anything, because then what? I haven't fixed anything and it's just gotten worse, right? And I think, best case scenario, I get stronger and the times get better. That's a win-win, right? Worst case scenario, times get a lot worse, but I'm stronger, right? So I think this is again, this is kind of more of a video for me, for myself, but it's time to get stronger. And I'm not just talking physically, I'm not just talking financially, but like mentally, even just fortifying yourself, steeling your will and your mind in order to just be more prepared to deal with things as they come to you. I've always been the kind of person to just take things in stride. Things go wrong, I can kind of just like brush it off and keep going. So that's a strength of mine, I think, that I already have. But I think in my video yesterday, I acknowledged like my discipline isn't always the greatest still. And I think that's something that I should be working on, right? That's something that I am working on. I'm actively working on it. So that's something that's a strength that I need to acquire, right? And I think that this is, I will say, like, whether, the situation in the country maybe not ideal, but I think it's the perfect proving grounds right now for just becoming a more powerful person, right? Just becoming a more disciplined, a more ironclad person. Like, being more capable of taking things in stride, being more capable of just dealing with problems as they arise. Because, I mean, life is full of problems in the best of times, and we're certainly not in the best of times, right? As much as I see posts saying that the country is the best it's ever been, I'm like, I don't know that that's true. Um, yeah, I don't know that that's true. If you are like, if your experience right now is that the country is the best it's ever been, then I'm honestly happy for you, because that's fantastic. I mean, I'm really happy to hear that some people, but my personal experience is not that, but I really do think that this is like the perfect opportunity to just forge yourself into the strongest version of you. And that's what I'm planning to do is I'm going to use this opportunity to just forge myself. Cuz things are, I mean, like I said, I'm not really thinking that things are going to, like, I'm thinking like we're probably things are going to get a little bit worse probably in the foreseeable future, but I also think, I mean, things are going to get better. Things are going to get better. Like we are going to bounce back at some point, right? Things are going to be on an upswing, things are going to be on a downswing. It's just, that's just life. Like that always happens. So, but I think the stronger that you are, the more capable of taking those things in stride you are, and I think that that's just kind of what I'm striving to do, is just become a stronger person so that I'm more prepared to deal with things as they happen. So, kind of a weird video. I know, a little bit weird, but like I said, hopefully the purpose of this is to be optimistic. I know it's not the most optimistic topic necessarily, but I really think this is the perfect opportunity to forge yourself, because victory often comes from necessity, like usually, like our bodies and our minds are basically perfectly engineered to be as lazy as possible, right? I mean, if you don't work out for 2 weeks, like your body starts dropping muscle after 2 weeks, right? Like, granted, it's not super noticeable at first, but like your body starts losing muscle mass 2 weeks without working out. Like, it's, it's kind of funny actually to think about how lazy our bodies are sometimes. It's the same with our minds. I mean, your mind is, I mean, that's why things like scrolling, social media, that's why these things are so pervasive right now, is because our brains crave the dopamine and serotonin and all these like happy hormones. And so if you're getting these hormones from just scrolling, your brain's not going to tell you to stop, right? That's why scrolling is such an addictive thing. That's why just sitting on your phone for hours and hours is such a problem right now, because our brains, like, it's giving our brain exactly what it's looking for. So, and I mean, if you don't need to get up, you're not going to, right? And so I think there is an element to where hard times create strong men because it's necessary. Strong men need to exist to bring people out of the hard times. And that's the optimistic take that I want to have on this, is it's going to get better because we are going to get better. So, hopefully that inspired you to, I don't know. Hopefully that inspired you. I know I'm personally a little more inspired after having made this just now. I mean, I was just sitting in my car thinking for a few minutes, and I was, feeling a little down, honestly. Like, still, I'm not fully out of the slump, just thinking about the direction that everything's in, but I feel more inspired making this. So, yeah, that's it. I won't keep talking your ear off. If you made it all the way to the end, as always, I appreciate you, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day.